we will also get knowledge about our present. Studying about past also gives us good understanding about our present. For time being, let's just confine to what is archaeology. Archaeology is one simple subject. Again, it's very interesting and it's very intriguing, wherein we will try to study things of the past. What that things could be? That things could be, what things an archaeologist studies. What things an archaeologist studies? Let's say an archaeologist can study about tools of the past. Like, an archaeologist can study about things like pottery. An archaeologist can study about things like dwellings or house, how people used to live, where people used to live, or different aspects like things like ornaments, likewise. Then one question that should immediately come to your mind is, sir, why we as a student of anthropology should show interest in archaeology? These are the things of the past. Why should we even understand things of the past? I'll just give one example to convince you. Plow? Plow. In agriculture, for agriculture activities, they use something called as plow. There is a popular quotation which says, plow is the enemy of women. Plow is the enemy of women. Again, you might be thinking, what is the link between plow and women? Where is plow used? In agriculture. And for what purpose plow is used? For soil health and for maintenance of the soil. Usually we have a plow. But the problem is, plow is very heavy. Plow is very heavy. Plow is very heavy. Means it's not easy for a woman to handle a plow. It's not easy for women to handle a plow. Only men can handle a plow. Before the invention of plow, women used to contribute to economic activity as much as men. And women used to have better social recognition, better social prestige before the invention of the plow. See, generally in all societies, whoever is contributing more to economic activity, they will have little more social prestige, right? So as long as the women and men's contribution to economic activity, there are no differences, women is equally respected. But with the advent of plow, what happened? Women's contribution to economic activity came down, and that is the beginning of gender inequality. Have you heard this term, gender inequality? Male and female are not treated the same. Male are treated better than female. Male started getting more authority. Male started getting more power when compared to female. So when this has started, this might have started probably by the time of invention of plow. How did they get to know? They get to know that there are differences in the way men and women are buried. Differences in the way men and women are buried before the plow, after the plow. Before the plow, after the plow. Means after the plow, men started gradually getting more power, more control, more authority, more respect, more recognition when compared to men. So this way, by studying about archaeological aspects, like by studying pottery, by studying different types of tools, everything, anthropologists tries to give understanding about the culture of the past, and also the society of the past. Society of the past. See, fundamentally, anthropology is the study of humans, and study of humans is nothing but study of human culture or study of human society. Study of human culture and study of human society, isn't it? So, by taking knowledge from archaeology, anthropologists will try to come to an understanding of how the societies were in the past, how the culture was in the past. And the example I gave you, look, by looking at the plough, or the first time appearance of plough is directly correlated to the appearance of gender based inequalities in the society. Got my point? I'll ask one simple question. Which is the first temple in India? First temple in India? Any idea? First temple. It's slightly before that. First ever temple in India, often we think it might be some thousands BC, but the first temple in India is only somewhere around 58 AD. 58 AD. It's in a place called Gudimallam. It's an archaeological site in Chittoor district near Papanayadupet, a place called Gudimallam. You understood the point I am trying to say? So, by studying the site of Gudimallam, and especially the different tools or artifacts we call it at Gudimallam, archaeologists and archaeological anthropologists try to come up with many observations of society of that particular period or culture of that particular period. Understood? Yes. And one more interesting study with regard to archaeological anthropology. Let's say they also study about burial sites. You know burial sites? Burial sites means the place where dead are buried. Then you may be thinking, what is the link between burial sites and what kind of observations we can make from the burial site? Let's say there is one cemetery. You know cemetery? Cemetery is the place where dead are buried, right? Let's say this is the cemetery. And in this cemetery, let's say for one individual, they gave half of the cemetery. Whereas for some individuals, not much space is given in the cemetery. Now, what can I infer from this? What can I infer from this? What is my observation based on this? This must be a rich man. They must be poor. Or other possibility, this could be a king. This could be a king who is ruling. This must be common man. They don't have much power. So, even by observing burial sites, we can comment on the society or culture of the past. Let's take another example. Another burial ground. And this is, let's say this is another burial ground. And in this burial ground, there are many dead bodies of children. Many dead bodies of children, comparable to the dead bodies of adults. So, what inference we can draw from that? Usually, children dead bodies should be less, right? Old age people should die, but many children are dying. Why? There could be many reasons, but one important reason, if children are dying in large numbers, most important reason could be, in this particular culture, maybe they did not take good care of the nutrition of the children. That's why many children might be dying, means the society does not care for its children well. You understood? Let's take another burial site. In this burial site, majority of the burial site is occupied by young people. Dead bodies of young people. The numbers are so high that they outnumber when compared to the dead bodies of old and also child. In this case, what could be the reason? Why large number of young people are dying? Young people means they generally have more immunity, they know how to protect themselves, they are more safe, they feel more safe, they are more safe. Possible reason could be a war-like situation. Maybe a war kind of situation, because this particular culture or this particular society might have gone to a war, and in the war many young men or maybe young women also might have died. So this archaeological site, whenever I am seeing this archaeological site, I have come to an understanding that this particular society is a conflict-ridden society. Means people are not peaceful here. This is a conflict-ridden society. This is a conflict-ridden society. Society is prone to conflicts. Understood? Just by studying an archaeological sites, there are many observations which we can make. Got it? Yes. So, what are the concepts which we have learnt till now? First, we started with something called as out of Africa theory, wherein I want to convince you all that modern Homo sapiens have first appeared in Africa, and from Africa they have moved to different parts of the world. In that context, I also explained cultural evolution. Human evolution is of two types. That is both cultural evolution and biological or organic evolution. Just like organic evolution happens, biological evolution also, cultural evolution also happens. And I have introduced you guys to the concept of culture. I told culture is nothing but it's a sum total of all things which we learn after we are born, like our language, our belief system, our social institutions, our art forms, everything is part of our culture. Culture is learned. Then after that, I mentioned about something called as archaeology. What is archaeology? Archaeology is nothing but the study of things of the past. Let's say, for instance, if you want to see, what does an archaeologist do? They extract, they excavate, and they identify the human activity buried beneath the earth. An archaeologist, like tools, different things an archaeologist tries to see. What a paleontologist tries to see? Fossils. Human paleontologist sees human fossils. Paleontologist sees fossils. Archaeologist, what does archaeologist see? Archaeologists see artifacts, means nothing but objects, and tries to understand about the past. Okay. To convince you, I have given you guys a beautiful example. What is a beautiful example again? Plow is the enemy of women. Which means before plow, gender inequalities are less. With the advent of plow, in the archaeological evidences, the time from which plows are being started, is also the time from which society started experiencing gender inequality. You understood my point? Both times correlated. Means plow could be the most important reason why society started experiencing gender inequality, because plow is heavy, women cannot carry, women cannot actively participate in agricultural activities, and this led to more power, more authority to men, because men are contributing more to economic activity. Okay. So another example of archaeological anthropology is nothing but the study of burial sites. burial sites. Burial sites means the place where we bury the dead people are called as burial sites. Like what all information about the past society we can get from the study of burial sites, which is part of archaeological sites. We can understand the power differences, rich, poor. Can we understand? Yes, we can understand the power differences. We can understand the power differences. We can understand economic inequalities, isn't it? Rich people may afford, let's say along with the dead body, they may bury a lot of gold also. They are rich. If they believe in afterlife, what they do? Along with the dead body, they bury a lot of gold, they bury a lot of copper. So burial sites gives us evidence about power differences, gives us evidences about economic inequalities, like that. And it also can give information if the society is a conflict-ridden society, if there are many young people buried, or it can also give an information that society is not taking care of the children if there are many dead bodies of children. Got my point? So I think these are the few ideas which you should be aware in the context of archaeological anthropology, one of the most interesting topics which we will be doing in more depth and detail in the regular class. Okay? Yes. I'll introduce you guys to another simple term called as tools. Simple term, tools. You know tools, right? Tools. This is something related to archaeological anthropology. Archaeological anthropology, wherein like what an archaeological anthropology does, whatever, let's say if I identify a particular tool, based on that tool we will try to give information about how the society is in the past, what type of food people are eating, what are the type of behaviors people have, like that we can tell. I gave an example of burial site. Okay, to make it easy for you, I'll take one example of tool only. Before 7,000 or 6,000 years ago, there is nothing like mortar and pestle. Mortar and pestle, in Telugu we call it rokali. There is nothing like mortar and pestle. Rokali bada we call it, right? Why do you need it? You need it to pounce the grains. Isn't it? If you have to pounce the grains, we call it danchadam, right? Before that, why we don't need that? There are no grains. Agriculture started in that period. Only when there is agriculture, there are grains. If there are grains, you have to pounce the grains. You got my point? To process the grains. So, for the first time, if I am seeing a mortar and pestle, which means I got to know about the diet of the people. I got to know that, okay, these people are eating grains, means they have understood how to do agriculture. Before that, there is no mortar and pestle, means people are not producing grains. People might be just hunters and gatherers. They might be just hunting for food or just gathering the food in the wild. But now people are more evolved. Now people are more evolved. People are able to do agriculture. People are able to do agriculture, and because of the fact that people are able to do agriculture, they are able to produce grains. Because they are able to produce grains, you understood my point? They are able to produce grains. They have tools like mortar and pestle. What this behavior aspect also, I will teach you in a while when I discuss separate topic called as Neolithic. Got my point? That is also in today's class only. So yes, that is to illustrate archaeological anthropology and tools. So I have used one term called as artifacts, right? Artifacts. Artifacts is the term we use for tools. Objects, tools, artifacts, all are the terms we interchangeably use. All are the terms we use interchangeably. Okay? Artifacts, tools, objects, even if I use any of these three terms, don't think there is much difference. Okay? It's more or less the same. Now, I have come to something called as, before that I will introduce one term. It is not part of anthropology, it is there in your geography textbooks. Even if you have not read in your geography textbooks, but just be aware of this term. సెన్స్ బోర్డ్ రావట్లేదు. ఓకే, please be aware of this term called as geological time scale, GTS, geological time scale, geological time scale. So geological time scale, it's a very big topic. I will not go into more detailed understanding. I'll just introduce you guys to the geological time scale. I'm sure all of you would have watched this movie called as Jurassic Park. What exactly is this Jurassic? Jurassic. Why that movie is named Jurassic Park? Any idea? It's an age, time period. Jurassic is a time period. And what is the time period dominated by? Which animals used to dominate the planet Earth? Dinosaurs. Different dinosaurs used to dominate. Let me ask you this question. Did we humans appear on planet Earth in the Jurassic period? Are we there on the planet during the time of dinosaurs or not? Dinosaurs are our neighbors, like we used to go to forest to hunt dinosaurs, something like that. Have you ever heard, or have you ever, in the movie also they will not show it that way. The movie is a fiction. The movie is a fiction. In the movie also what they show, like apparently one egg broke, something, whatever. That's an art of fiction. But be aware of this fact. There are no humans. Forget humans, there are no mammals also at that point. There are no mammals at all. Means not even monkeys. Who used to dominate planet Earth at that point of time? Dinosaurs, triosaurs, all these different organisms, they used to dominate. They are big reptiles. Okay. So geological time scale is that. In regular anthropology classes, we will have more detailed understanding. The reason why I introduced the term geological time scale for you is, there is, just like Jurassic is a period, you have another period called as Cretaceous period. Don't worry about these names. Within Cretaceous period also you have Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, Pliocene, Pleistocene, like that. Those names are there. I want you to understand that broad aspect. Let's say we belong to this Cretaceous age. We belong to this particular age called as Cretaceous age, which is nothing but age of mammals. And in your school textbooks you also would have read that we are also mammals. Mammals means nothing but, what are mammals? Mammals are nothing but any organism in which females have mammary glands. Females have mammary glands. Mammary glands. And females can give breast milk. Females give breast milk to babies. We are called as mammals. In UPSC prelims also they ask this question many a times. Mammals, likewise, mammals. So within Cretaceous age also, as I already mentioned, there are again subparts. There are again subparts. Like Paleocene. Okay, don't get scared by looking at these names. In your geography faculty will teach all these things with much more clarity. It's not anthropology, but I want you to know in the context of anthropology also. That's why I am writing all these names. Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, Pliocene, In geography, what they do is they even teach specific timelines also for you. In anthropology, we don't need that much depth. Just be aware: Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, Pliocene, and Pleistocene. And we humans appeared on this planet only in the Pleistocene only. We are very recent. We are very, very recent in a geological time scale. If you take that broad time scale, you know, you will be surprised if I put this number. We humans are just, you know, 1,60,000 to 1,20,000 years old. On this planet, we humans have appeared on the scene very recently, just 1,60,000 to 1,20,000 years. When compared to us, all these dinosaurs and all, they lived for millions of years. We have lived only for this much time, and we have destroyed the planet so much. They lived for so much time, they still lived in a very sustainable way, you know, but our way of life is not sustainable. We are damaging planet beyond recognition, but we have spent only this much time, and we are spending only this much time on this planet. Okay, so more clarity about geological time scale you will get as the regular classes start, but I want you to understand that on a broader scale of evolution, the time we have spent on the planet is very less. We are just within the Cretaceous age also. There are so many phases. Within that also we belong to a small recent phase. Okay, but before that there are many phases which extended for much larger or much longer periods. Okay, so that is about this geological time scale. Okay, in that context, what I want to understand is, I'll introduce you guys to two names: Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Please understand these terms, you should be aware. I'll teach all of them at one go. First of all, I told you cultural evolution, which means just like our organic evolution or biological evolution is happening as part of the human evolution, our cultural evolution also is happening. And how to study our culture also, I have already told. How to study culture also, I told that we have subjects like archaeology, we have subjects like archaeological anthropology, all these things we have. Now let's see cultural evolution. Cultural evolution, within cultural evolution, there are some periods. There are some periods like Paleolithic, Mesolithic. Here what I am trying to do is, I am trying to teach you three concepts at one go, because all of them are connected to each other. And what you are seeing right now on the board are nothing but, different cultural ages. Different cultural ages. Paleo is just an English word. Paleo means old. Neo means new. Meso means a middle period. Middle period. Okay. Lithic also is an English word. Lithic also is an English word. So what is the meaning of lithic? Lithic is nothing but stone. So old stone tools, middle stone age or middle stone tools, middle stone age, and new stone. Okay. And try to understand, why are tools important? Why are tools important? Tools. Tools are important. We talk about tools only in the context of economic activity, right? What is the important tool of computer age? Computer itself. We talk in terms of tools only vis-a-vis economic activity, right? Let's say first industrial revolution, second industrial revolution, third industrial revolution, fourth industrial revolution. You would have heard about all these things. First industrial revolution, invention of steam engine. That's a tool or a technology. Second industrial revolution, heavy manufacturing capacity along with electricity, technology and tool. Third industrial revolution, computers. Fourth industrial revolution, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, isn't it? Edge computing, blah, 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 blockchain technology, quantum computing. All these are fourth industrial revolution. Okay, your science and technology faculty will teach all those things. The point I am trying to say, tools are related to economic activity. And just now I have written for you on the board old stone tools, middle stone tools and new stone tools. So your mind should actively think and ask you, what could be the economic activity of people? What could be the possible economic activity of the people in different phases? Try to understand. Especially in the Paleolithic Age, Paleolithic Age, humans are nothing but, I have combined three concepts here: Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. Okay, three concepts I am teaching at one go: Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic. In Paleolithic, our economic activity is primarily hunting and gathering. Our economic activity is primarily hunting and gathering. To go one level deeper, within Paleolithic also, we have again lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic and upper Paleolithic. Look at the beautiful cultural evolution of humans. When we humans are in this, or our ancestral humans are in this lower Paleolithic age, we don't even know how to hunt the food. We are into gathering or just scavenging. Scavenging means already an animal is dead. What we know is just tearing its skin apart and eating that particular animal. That is the only skill we have. Gathering of the food and scavenging. Gathering of food and scavenging. In middle Paleolithic, yes, we have started to gradually enter into the phase of hunting, but by the time of upper Paleolithic, our hunting techniques evolved and we have become specialized hunters. Our hunting techniques evolved and we have become specialized hunter. Okay, to add one more layer of depth to it, okay, listen carefully, it's interesting actually. During the Middle Age, we are largely a big game hunters. But by the time of upper Paleolithic, we have become small game hunters. Big game hunters, small game hunters. That term is new to you. You must have heard for the first time. What is big game hunting? What is small game hunting? Big game hunting means bigger sized animals. Small game hunting means smaller animals. Then our mind will immediately tell, it's easy to hunt a small animal. No, it's other way around. To hunt a small animal is somewhat difficult. You need more precise tools. You need more precise tools. The tools have to be very specific. To kill a big animal, a group of people has to fall on it like a mob, kill it with stones, it will die. If you have to kill a small animal like deer, or if you have to kill a small animal like rabbit, you need more precision. You need more planning. You understood my point? And it is very dangerous to kill a big game animal. It is dangerous. It is dangerous, right? You may get killed. Killing a big game animal is dangerous. It may kill you. But a small game animal cannot kill us. But it is difficult to kill a small game animal because it needs more specialized hunting gear. It needs more specialized hunting gear. So, you need more specialized hunter. Then what about the type of tools you need? You need more specialized tools. More specialized tools. Look, this is how our culture evolved. Now we are talking about computers, artificial intelligence, machine learning, edge computing, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain technology, quantum computing, robotics, whatnot. All fancy technologies we are talking about, but this is our first technology. Earliest technology is no hunting, not even hunting. Just gather the food, maybe roots, tubers, fruits, berries, pluck it, eat it, or if any animal is lying dead, tear the flesh by some sharp stone and eat it. It is not even a tool. Take a stone and tear it. From there, one level above, big game hunting. From there, more evolved, small game hunts also. We are able to hunt smaller animals also, means now we are safe. In the process of hunting, we are not dying. Try to understand. Especially in these two phases, aren't we as good as animals? You wake up, find your food, you may die in the process of finding food. Isn't it? You may die in the process of finding food, right? Eat, rest, because you have to work so much hard just to get food. Do you have any time and mental energy left to think? Look at our luxury. In the current times, we have so much food to eat, so much time to think, still we waste it. Their whole life is nothing but waking up, searching for food, finding food, or dying in the process of finding food. That's it. Day is simple. From there, slightly more evolved, small game hunting. Small game hunting. Small game, not easy to hunt, but definitely less riskier. Need more specialized tools. Quantity also is more. Quantity also is more, isn't it? There will be many deers, right, when compared to elephants. You understood? When more deers will be there. So this is how we are gradually evolving. From that phase, we entered into the next phase. Mesolithic. What is the next phase after Mesolithic? Neolithic. Just curious, in the Paleolithic, did we hunt fishes or did we catch fishes? No, we don't have so much technology to even catch fish also, to even kill small birds also. So in the Mesolithic period, what happened is, we also have entered into fishing. We also have entered into fowling, means fowls, small birds. But another very interesting phenomenon happened at that point of time. This again will be taught in more detail in your geography, but we will also touch in anthropology. This is also the time, the Mesolithic period. I am not putting numbers deliberately in this class because this is just introduction class. In the Mesolithic period, something interesting happened. You know, we have entered into a phase called as pluvial phase, and the phase before it is called as glacial phase. If you have read your school textbooks well, you would have still remember, but even if you don't remember, don't worry. Temperatures on the planet are extremely cold at that point. In the glacial phase, the temperatures on the planet are very cold. The temperatures on the planet are very cold. But you know what happened with the pluvial phase? The pluvial phase, earth temperature started coming down. In the pluvial phase, earth temperatures started moderating. Earth's temperatures started coming down. Sorry, started not coming down, started increasing. And now, as Earth's temperature started increasing, what will happen to the ice? What will happen to the ice? Ice will melt. Ice will melt. And when ice melts, what will happen to sea? Sea level can rise. And there are many places where sea itself is frozen. Now, at many places there is water, like there are small ponds everywhere, lakes everywhere, ponds everywhere, lakes everywhere. So, when there is water everywhere, so what lives in the water usually? Fish. And some water birds or fowls live close to the water. Now tell me, what is the new source of food? Fishes and fowls. But when compared to the tools you need to hunt a deer or hunt, the tools which you need for fishing or fowling is much more advanced, right? You need much more advanced tools. Fishing nets, fishing canoes. Canoes means the small sized boats. Fishing nets, fishing canoes, fishing needles. They used to hunt, the needles are not like the needles which we know, they are slightly different. Fishing hooks, fishing needles, these are slightly more advanced tools. And you know, in your regular classes, I will also introduce you guys to a term called as, these type of tools we call them as, microliths, means small sized stone tools. They are much more refined. They are much more refined. Look how beautifully the technological or tool progress is happening from lower Paleolithic to middle Paleolithic to upper Paleolithic to Mesolithic. But everything boils down to food gathering. Based on the type of the food available, or based on the food preferences, humans are developing their tool availability, or humans have improved upon their tool technology from lower Paleolithic to middle Paleolithic to upper Paleolithic to Mesolithic. Now, this will take us to the next phase called as Neolithic phase. The name itself is indicative, right? Neolithic phase. Till now, did I use the term called as agriculture? I did not use. I said hunting. I even started with gathering, scavenging, big game hunting, small game hunting, fishing and fowling, but I did not still write the name called agriculture. Agriculture first started in the Neolithic period. Okay, just now in today's class itself I told modern Homo sapiens have roughly evolved in 1,60,000 to 1,20,000 year old. Then how old do you guys think agriculture is? How old do you think agriculture is? Any guesses? Random guesses? That's it. Agriculture is just 10,000 to, according to different sources, 10,000 to 80,000 years ago. 10,000 to 80,000 years ago. I am calculating it from the present. Agriculture is just that old. Before that, we don't have agriculture. But here, why Earth's temperature increase during that particular period? Yeah, that's a good question. Generally, your geography faculty will talk about it. Earth's temperatures alters in various phases called as glacial phases or pluvial phases, like that. During the glacial phase, it's most probably because of the Earth's tilts and Earth's axis and Earth's rotation. I'm not going too much into it because I'm not a geography faculty. For anthropology, what you need is fact that pluviation happens and glaciation happens. After the glacial phase, we have a pluvial phase. In the glacial phase, what we have? Ice frozen everywhere. In the pluvial phase, Earth's temperature rises. Because of the fact that Earth's temperature rises, one, frozen ice melts, enhancing the sea levels and ensuring that water is available everywhere. And what else will happen because of the temperature rise? Other things like cloud formation, more rains, growth of forests, all these things also will happen. Why exactly the temperature rises is not the subject area of anthropology. That will be taught as part of your geography classes. Got it? Yes. Now, I told agriculture. Here, I want you guys to take 30 seconds and think calmly, whether it is in lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic, upper Paleolithic, Mesolithic. Is there a possibility of surplus? Some of you might not be aware of the term surplus also. Let me explain that also. Surplus means extra, more than what we need. I'll say it again. Surplus means what? More than what we need. Now, I want you to think calmly for 30 seconds and tell me whether in Paleolithic period or Mesolithic period, is there a possibility of surplus? Excess than what we need? No possibility. It's just about hunting as much as you need, gathering as much as you need. Maybe in fishing, there would be surplus. In a little bit surplus. That also is not much surplus. But definitely during the Neolithic period, what happened is, agriculture means you produce more, right? Will you eat everything that is produced? Definitely there is surplus. Because there is surplus, now tell me, should human go for food gathering on a daily basis? On a daily basis? No, they need not go for food gathering on a daily basis, right? Because you have surplus food. So when there is surplus food, it's not that every day morning you wake up and you start hunting for your food or going out for food. So when there is surplus, what is the first advantage? Time. You have time and you have energy left. You have time left and you have energy left. Agree with me? So, when you have time left, previously all your time is about gathering food. Now you have extra time with you. It's as simple as that. Let's say if, as you are going out of the class today, if I give you 12-hour schedule till Sunday and I ask you guys that you have to definitely execute this 12-hour schedule. Would you dare to waste your time on social media or going out for a movie, going out for a restaurant, going out for shopping? Definitely no, right? We will tend to waste time only when we think that there is a lot of time, or when there is no clarity on how to use your time. Just like that, previously they don't have any time left. Now humans have time left. Only when you have time left, people will start thinking about, let's say now I have surplus food. Why not I process this food? Now I have surplus food. Why not I store this food? I have surplus food. Let me try to sell that food to somebody else, or give it to somebody else and take something else from someone. You got my point. Now, all these new ideas started, which means, now I have surplus. So let me try to process this into something else, or let me store it without getting damaged so I can use it for a longer period, the same surplus, or let me try to sell this surplus to someone. One possibility. Now, let's say I have time, I have energy. Now there is surplus. Now there is surplus. Let's say there are some 100 students here sitting. Let's assume there are 100 students sitting here, and there are 100 mangoes. And let's say there is one individual who is trying to oversee this distribution of mangoes. Is it possible that a conflict might arise? Because one person is taking care of distribution, he will give one to everyone. Now let's say there are 500 mangoes, lot of surplus, and again 100 people. Equation might seem like, okay, let everyone give 5. But human mind will not think that way. No, there is a lot of surplus. You got my point. For everyone, the need is only one mango. Rest of the 400 mangoes, everyone will start thinking like, why not I get more mangoes? Why should I get only one? Let me get 10. Then the next question arises. Why somebody should be given 10, somebody should be given 5, or somebody should be given only 1? That also is a source of conflict. Then someone has to sit and someone has to write proper guidelines. If you do this work, you will get 10 mangoes. If you do this particular work, I'll give you 100 mangoes. If you do this work, for your work, you deserve only 1 mango. And this guy will write the rules. And this guy, as he is writing the rules, he got more authority. Because he is the one who is deciding how many people, like how many mangoes each people should get. Then this guy, as he is very powerful, he also recruits somebody, okay, distribute on my behalf. Are you getting my point? And the guy who is writing these rules is a politician. And the guy who is distributing this is a civil servant. You got my point? So with the surplus only, there is origin of authority and origin of concept of political system or a politician. And to help the politician to do this distribution, there is civil servants. The same thing which is true 8,000 years ago is also true now. What does a politician do? There is only one job a politician is supposed to do: distribute the resources of the society. Because society has surplus, how should he distribute it? In a just manner. Whether he is doing it or not is a different thing. But who is actually distributing the resource of the society? Politician. Why did this idea called as distribution even come into picture? Because there is surplus. If there is no surplus, no distribution, no need for an authority, no need for a politician, no need for a civil servant. You got my point? So surplus is also connected to not just improvement of technology for processing, storing of the food or origin of trade. Surplus is also responsible for origin of politics. Surplus also is responsible for origin of bureaucracy. Origin of bureaucracy. You got my point? Now, there is surplus, there is time. Someone suddenly started singing because this guy don't has sufficient food right now, he has time left. Let me sing. Many liked it. Oh, this guy is very creative, he is singing. Somebody else danced. Oh, this guy also seems to be very smart, he is dancing. Somebody else painted. Someone else narrated a beautiful story which doesn't exist. Then people started getting fanciful. Are, he is doing something creative. Why this guy started doing creative? Because he has time left. So that surplus also is related to appearance of creative works or aesthetics. You understood my point? Of course, no doubt, that is also the time when pottery started. It is also the time when pottery started because people have learned to store food. Now people started getting more creative. Now suddenly society started rewarding them more. Oh, this guy is singing, this guy is dancing, this guy is acting, this guy is writing, this guy is painting. Same thing we are doing in the present society also, right? Who is getting the maximum societal rewards? After politician, civil servants, maybe film actors. Even now the same film actors or the dancers or the somebody who is into creative pursuit is getting more share in the society, right? They are rich often. Now another interesting phenomenon started. Previously there is no surplus and there is no wish for surplus. When there will be surplus when the rains are good, isn't it? There will be surplus when the rains are good. There will be surplus when floods will not happen. There will be surplus when droughts are not there. There will be surplus when hailstorms are not falling. What are all this? Rain, hailstorms, floods, all these are part of nature. Nature, will you agree with me? But is our knowledge of science at that point of time sufficient to explain nature? Is my knowledge of science at that point of time is sufficient to explain nature? No. But I know that something is happening and that something is determining rainfall, something is determining flood, something is determining drought, something is causing hailstorm, something is causing. I don't know what that something is. So I thought there is something above nature and I started believing that this is supernatural. What is the belief in supernatural? Religion. You got my point? People started believing in something called as religion also with the beginning of surplus. Previously there is no God, nothing. The belief in the God has started because people started, okay, there is nature and I am not able to understand the nature. I am not able to explain the phenomenon of nature. I am not able to understand nature. Means something is controlling the nature. What is that something that is controlling nature? That is supernatural. And I started believing that it is the supernatural. And if I please supernatural, supernatural will give me more rain. Supernatural will ensure that the floods does not happen. Supernatural will ensure that the hailstorm will not happen. Supernatural will ensure that the droughts will not happen. This is the origin of religion. Maybe before that you don't need a God because you don't need surplus or you are not even bothered about surplus. It's all about like an animal. Wake up, hunt, eat, sleep. So you understood so beautifully one phase called as Neolithic phase with the origin of agriculture. All these things started. Now one more point I'll add. This also led to social inequalities. Why social inequalities? Simple. Social inequalities means all are not same. Different people are put in different layers. Oh, you're a politician. You deserve more social prestige. You deserve more respect. I'll put you in the top. Oh, you are a priest. You are connecting us with the God. So you deserve more respect. I'll put you in the top. Oh, you are a singer. You are a dancer. You have a skill which I don't have. You also deserve higher social prestige. Again, they are put in the top. You got my point? So people started to be placed in different hierarchies. I'll use a term called as social stratification in the next class, but for time being what I am explaining is nothing but social stratification. Different people are put in different levels. Different people are put in different levels. That is nothing but social stratification or social hierarchy. Our social inequalities in the society also started with the onset of surplus, which is nothing but agriculture. Okay. So I'll stop the class here for today. So what did we learn in today's class? We started with out of Africa theory. After talking about out of Africa theory, I have introduced you guys to a term called as archaeology. Later I introduced you guys to something called as archaeological anthropology, means how knowledge of archaeology will help us in anthropology. Later I introduced you guys to terms called as artifacts, means different tools. And in that context I also explained burial sites and how burial sites can give us in an archaeological site, a burial site can give us an understanding about culture. Later I explained about geological time scale. I did not go much deeper into it, but I just mentioned that geological time scale. Later I explained tools, some tools and their importance. Then Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic. Within Paleolithic also I mentioned lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic, upper Paleolithic, then Mesolithic, then Neolithic. So these are some concepts which we have learnt in today's class. Okay, I'll stop the session for today. Tomorrow I'll continue the session with 10 more concepts. Yeah, thank you.